All right. Right. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into another stream. If you guys are new here in the morning, we come in, take a look at NQ, we see what actually happened during the overnight session, see what price can do going into that New York session. At night, we come in, we review, we see what actually took place, and well, see where price could potentially go further. So let's take a look at what we got going on right now, or what we had during this session, right? Initially, this London or this New York Open was not impressive, right? Price just kind of consolidated here. We rushed to that previous daily high, swept that right after 10 a.m. But over here, I mean, we kept on holding that London opening price, right? Which did give us a nice run to the upside here. And we can also take a look at this London manipulation. Typically, London manipulation does give us a nice projection to the upside. Typically reject, there we go. There's here 2618, negative 25s. Around that level, previous daily high, right there's our rejection. Right, that 2618. So that gives us that nice confident level to the downside with a rejection of that high. And over here, this is where we could start looking for shorts, right? Previous daily high has been swept. We get a displacement to the downside. We can draw out this range here as we begin to see this retracement. As price comes into here, oh my god, into this fair value gap, you could have taken shorts off of this right there, right? Off of this little candle, off this green candle there, continuation to the downside, although this gave us a nice little another retrace leg. Could have taken some off here, waited for it to come back into the here where it's rejecting the OTE of this leg to the downside. Typically, right, any leg to the downside or upside could give you some kind of entry. So then this gives us that entry, and there's that continued downside move into these liquidities over here on the downside, which throws quite a bit, right? Currently what I am watching, and then, right, do we have anything else? That was big one. As we swept these liquidities, right, obviously rising VIX, sweep of these liquidities. Not quite a tap into this yet, but sweep of those liquidities, right? No displacement below it. We get an inverse fair value gap here. Price comes back to retest it here. So there's your continuation to the upside, or a little bit of a reversal, right? At least into the upside. What I'm currently watching is the OTE of this leg to the downside and OTE of this hourly leg, as price is inside that hourly fair value gap and also this 5-minute fair value gap. So watching to see if they could give us a potential reversal off of this gap up, maybe at least into some of these liquidities, retest those, and then continue back to the upside, or if it's just gonna disrespect everything and run straight for that upside. Could also do that, right, as they've been doing. Let's see here, yesterday they had that giant wick probe down, retest this Sunday open, continuation to the upside. Once again, we retested it during the London session, Asia session, continuation to the upside, swept that previous daily high, went to the downside, swept the previous daily low here, and then from there, or previous daily low was right there after that gap up, which, you know, off this gap up, whatever they want to do. But Sunday, or sorry, not previous weekly high, is the level that we are going to be watching now, as this has had some reactions, right? The bodies are not willing to close back below it. If price continues to hold this level, we are going to continue to run to the upside wherever they went, right? Previous daily high or any sort of liquidity target is going to be good. If we break this level and get a body close below it, at least on the hourly, would be nice, right? Like we did over here. This was looking like it wanted to continue to the downside, but they actually did the same thing that they did yesterday during that session. Pretty similar moves here. But right, if they do decide to break below this level, we got this 1550 EMA. We would need to get back below it, and we would need to get back below that Sunday opening or that weekly opening at 26,599.75, or if you want to just round it up, 26,600, right? If they break back below that, then that gives us a whole plethora of levels on the downside that we could be watching. Right, we also have swept a lot of stuff here, which I could probably get rid of a bit of this shit, as it is no longer, so far, no longer serving us. Alright, we swept this. There's a previous weekly low, boom, continuation to the upside, previous weekly low, previous weekly high, complete runner to the upside.
Trump
And
calls on Congress to update law ensuring Americans can access full-spectrum CBD products.
some Trump on CBD. But right now, that's what I'm watching, right? This potential trade to the downside, and see if they could at least maybe fill the gap or come back down to that daily open, which would be nice. We'll take that. That's where I'm at. In terms of stocks, take a look at those. After my 7th inning stretch. If you guys are new here, also, make sure to give it a like, give it a share. The best way to help us out is word of mouth, right? So tell your friends about us, tell your mom about us, whatever you got. We'll take. On has been just fucking gripping and ripping out of this OTE here. Let's see how some of these are closing up on these weeklies. Roblox got fucking cooked outside week. Mara seeing a little bit of a run to the upside. Target continuing its run. AFRM closing up a little ugly. AMT, BA. So seeing that continuation right out of that fair value gap once again on the monthly. So retest of that continuation to the upside. Coin weekly, a little bit of reversal hood, which if they close it within this range, right, that's going to give us a weekly fair value gap, which does give us more of a potential for that upside. NTC almost completed that animal that we had outlined on, obviously cranking. PG, I'm still a big fan of this one. Still a little bit of consolidation, right, but almost looks like on that consolidation before that continuation expansion, absolute fucking ripper to the upside. We're looking at weeklies right now. Z retesting the weekly CISD here. If it breaks back below that, obviously continuation to the downside. But if we can hold that, we can see a nice or decent reversal back up to the upside. BMW, sweep, DG. I guess, let's see, love. Wow. Some of these weeklies, that's what I was saying. It's like, yeah, some of them look good, but at the same time, it's like this market, this price action has just been fucking something else. So I'm erring on the side of caution with everything right now. ACLS, fucking solid. AMD continuation, nice. Amazon, ANET. So a lot of those big firms seeing good continuations to the upside, but everything else, for the most part, is just being a little iffy into the end of this month. Let's see if we got Dash, not bad. Dell, solid breakout over here. DLTR, Doku, Elf. No, I hate when espresso makes you fucking tired. Or coffee. LMT, there's LMT, there it is, coming back into our levels. Here it is hitting. Let's see if it wants to dip over here. Let's see if we want to put like LMT longs. Or we can come back all the way down to that 491. This was a little ugly. This little fair value gap rejection after the sweep, but below that, that's kind of, potential here is this. At least into the OTE, and then maybe back down like that. Right, that's what we're going to watch. Or they can just continue to gush this thing. Lulu, we're just waiting on this 21 to 8, 85. 1 to 8, 85 to be swept. 1 to 8, 85. Lulu 1 to 8, 85. Potential sweep there. I like this song. Let's see. If they want to give us that SFB, that'd be fucking sick. Gun got fucking gutted, and that's crypto too, right? Just looks good, and then gives you a day maybe of pumping and then reversal. daily SFP so far. Every time we've had an SFP on Bitcoin, we've seen quite the reversal. So this daily SFP could be something. I will say, could be something ugly here. I don't know what chart I drew this shit on. Let's see what I did on this one. Yeah, there we go. So potential, right? 83, then 72, or back into this area here somewhere to retest, and then see where price wants to go from there. That's what we're kind of watching on this bad boy here. Ethereum, I don't think that coin even fucking exists anymore. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody cares about Ethereum. That thing is just ugly, and nobody fucking should even trade that thing. I'm kidding. We had some nice calls on it. Other than that, I mean, 12-hour, right? It's doing its thing, just consolidating here. Seems like we're back into this kind of fucking shit here. Or back into this little topping formation where price doesn't necessarily know what it wants to do. There's a lot of bidding happening where whether, you know, buyers are trying to accept that level while sellers are not. And just the divide maybe between the market participants. So now we're seeing those bigger ranges, and potentially we'll continue to see them as they're happening. You can see that daily, this hour, this 4 hour. Obviously everything's just fucking cranked to the upside. It's kind of like you can just blindly start taking longs now, and you'll probably be more than fucking fine. EMA and VRB, volume range profile. Okay. Okay. Curious to see. Okay, holy fuck, I was like, has my mic been off this whole time? No, it's not. It's on. We're good. We're chilling. So this is a big, or not a big area, but here we've had quite a bit amount of trading happen. So let's see what they do. It'd be pretty cool, I guess, if they came down into that daily open. That would give us some good longs. On the other note, I will share one thing that I happened recently looking at, right? And we'll backtest this but together. Let's do it this way. Let's backtest it, right? So looking at ranges in terms of where is price, what is price sweeping. So always zooming out, looking left for myself at least now. So you can see over here how we've swept this liquidity, right? And then price just immediately ran to the upside. Not only did we take previous daily low, but we are also now taking previous daily high over here, which, you know, could be over this or this London session right there. But sweeping this previous daily high, and then you can see how price at 9:30, right? Initially, it looks like we are bouncing within the OTE of this range here. Right there. Let me put this as OTE. So there's that, right? Bounce on the OTE, right? At 9:30. Bounce on to OTE. Continuation. Rejection again at this previous daily high. There's that continuation to the downside. So just kind of watching our ranges and seeing what price is actually doing. So over here, right, for example, we can take the overnight range. You can see how we didn't necessarily have too many body close below it. And then right at the end of the day, or this is the next day, we run up and sweep that liquidity right there at 4, right? Close at whatever, 350. Open up at 4, sweep that top, and then potentially reverse back to the downside over here, which would be these guys right there. So just kind of playing those ranges. So over here, right, you can see that right at 9:30 we opened up initially. Price rejecting this fair value gap as it has been going to the downside, and given that price has swept the Asia session top, potentially going to New York, we are looking for reversal. As it's coming into this bottom liquidity, we see that price is starting to kind of find those, like, find support. I don't want to say that, but find some buyers that are stepping in. We got some rising VIX, gives us that potential for some longs. We have this fair value gap that keeps on holding. You can see how the wicks keep on going into it, but nothing is happening. So there's that continuation back to the upside, sweep of this liquidity, reversal back down. After that reversal, right? Just kind of keep on holding above this liquidity sweep and then continuation, obviously, into that London high. Similar thing over here, right? We're watching, seeing what is the range, where is price trading. Right into New York session, we have this fair value gap over here. Price comes into it holding below the 50% at 935. Gives us a decent enough reversal into the downside, targeting the most recent next liquidity that's coming up over here. Sweep of this guy, reversal back up, sweep of the top, not quite, but rejection of this fair value gap again. Another sweep of that downside. And then finally, our third day here. What do we got? Also, I've been taking the London session OTE. Like this is helpful. If you take the London session OTE there, right, 930 opens up, sweeps the bottom here, gives us a run to the top, right into the OTE of that session, and right around that new hourly open up, we sweep the previous hourly high, and then reversal back to the downside into that previous hourly low. That's what we got today. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I love you. I appreciate you. As always, make sure to go check out www.papertraders.io if you guys are interested in anything that we offer. Come hang out with us. See what we can provide for you. And if you enjoy it, obviously share it. Go check us out on Twitter at the Paper Traders. Check out Mr. Hazed at Hazed Beats. Given through 3,000 followers, we're going to do a lifetime membership giveaway for the Paper Traders. Get me to 2,000 followers. I'm going to do a tracksuit reveal. Other than that, that will do it. So thank you guys. I love you. I appreciate you. And we will see you on the next one. Peace out.